Hey everybody, welcome back to the Highland Fox. This week, for the first time in 5 years, we're talking about the Chinese Grand Prix.
So exciting. So I have never actively watched the Grand Prix in China, so this was a new race for me. Super exciting. So I read all on the history of it. Fun fact, the last time we raced here, Max Verstappen had 5 wins, only 5 to his career. And since then, he can claim 50% of all wins.
That is insane.
Since 2019, Max Verstappen has won 50% of all races.
All races. He's got 53 total wins. And there's only been 106 races since the last China.
That's... I knew that fact, and I was like, oh, okay. And then, you say it, and you're like, wow.
It's just insane.
That's
that dominance
level.
is just another level. Because, Perez got third today. Mm-hmm. So, behind Norris, who Norris thought he was going to be 35 seconds behind the Ferraris. Mm-hmm. So it's it's the car, obviously. The car's a good car, but Max is just doing something that Hamilton never did in Mercedes. Mm-hmm. Schumacher never did in Ferrari.
Yeah, he's about a second a lap faster than
everyone else.
Place. Yeah.
No matter the car.
Yeah. So he obviously dominated this weekend. It was 2020. What year are we on? 24?
24.
24 is a first sprint race. So yeah. I thought sprint qual was super exciting,
Very
but
exciting.
There was rain, so that always makes it fun.
Watching Hamilton and Alonso and Verstappen go off the track though was so fun because they never make mistakes. So it's fun to see everybody struggling.
Mm-hmm. But you can definitely see they handle them a little bit better than everyone else on the grid. But it was exciting to see Norris for that first few seconds on pole.
With Hamilton in second.
And then immediately he just went off the track. So I know some people don't count sprint races for winning a race because Piastri won one already.
Yep.
But I wanted Norris just... So...
No one has ever won a sprint race outside of the top 3. Max Verstappen started 4th and said, hold my beer, while he ended up winning by 15 seconds.
I mean, once again, he's a second a lap faster than everyone.
It's insanity.
I was like, oh yeah, he'll catch Norris when I thought he was going to be in first,
right.
On lap 6. So
yeah. So how do you feel about? So we got a sprint race. We had a sprint race this weekend. It was pretty exciting. The race itself was pretty exciting near the end.
Yeah.
Right. With the new through goes Hamilton because Alonso and Sainz were fighting and Perez was just right through them. Mm-hmm. Leclerc and Sainz had an amazing battle. I know they had a little talk afterwards, but how do you feel about just sprint races in general?
I like the way they're doing them this year a little better. I thought the sprint race, this one was particularly exciting. Mm-hmm. I think you have to be careful which races you choose. And I wasn't too upset over the sprint this weekend.
2 weeks from now is Miami, and I think that's a terrible choice because Miami doesn't usually lend to a lot of overtakes.
They've only been doing it 2 years now. I feel like I'm always let down by
2 years too many for Miami.
So I don't know. That's an interesting one. Yeah, but
so you'll probably hear us complain next week. Unless it's a total banger, and then we'll be pleasantly surprised.
I feel like the only one that I'm yes is Brazil.
Brazil.
I love Brazil. I'm let's just do a race every day here.
Yeah, Brazil's a really good track.
Yeah, but if you chose Monaco, I'd punch someone in the head. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
So you have to choose the right track. I wasn't too upset with China. However, I thought it was more fun than the actual race.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely was. Definitely was.
So they can't do too many sprints, and you have to be careful about where you choose to do them. So I feel like I'm 50-50 here with whether I like it or whether I'm not.
I'm kind of similar with it. Really depends on the track. Again, like I said, Miami I think is a bad choice, but I've been wrong before in F1. You should see some of our prediction games. We were averaging 2 out of 10. So I've been wrong a lot. But if I was playing baseball, I'd probably be in the Hall of Fame with a 30% mark.
Yeah. As long as you get Max Verstappen on pole, you're golden.
Pole and win, and usually fastest lap. Usually are pretty good. Not today.
Alonso.
Jinx. So we've been talking a lot about Norris. Mm-hmm. Qualifies sprint pole. Mm-hmm. Immediately messes it up. And then qualifies second
Yeah.
and then finishes. No, he qualified. He qualified further back.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he finished second, which was really incredible because McLaren was not supposed to be that good today.
Yeah, and I think Piastri would have done better, but he had damage. But I think Norris had a really good race.
He did. He had a very good race.
Yeah, so he qualified fourth.
Yep.
And then finished second. He managed tires well.
Yep.
He had a lot of clean air out there, but whatever.
Because Max was so far ahead.
Yeah, but I think Norris had a really good race. McLaren surprised me. I believe they brought upgrades to this race.
Yeah.
I thought Ferraris were going to do a little better. They weren't awful, but I was expecting more from them. I thought they would be a bit more competitive, especially with Leclerc on a one-stop.
Then the safety car, I think, threw a lot of Ferrari strategy out the window. So last time we were saying like Ferrari strategy was amazing. I think they were on for something here, and then there was a safety car followed by another safety car. So it really messed up the grid, messed up it put everyone back on the same strategy.
Yeah.
Which I think that messed with Ferrari a little bit and probably helped McLaren. But again, that's the race, right?
Yeah.
You have to be able to adjust.
Yeah. So they didn't do terrible. I was just expecting a little bit more from them. So it did seem like I thought the hard tires were going to go overall better. It seemed like there was a lot of tire degradation problems with this race.
Yeah.
But they were expecting, I think, a higher temperature, and it was not that today.
Yeah.
So
Norris did break the trend. Every race this year has been a 1-2, and Norris got second. So Max, Norris, Perez. So there's still 2 Red Bulls on the podium, but at least it wasn't a 1-2 this time.
Switching it up, getting crazy on us. So that was fun.
Norris got driver of the day, which means it was the first non-Ferrari driver to get driver of the day. So Norris was just breaking all kinds of records.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for them. Obviously, it's, what would we say, the most excitement was, what was it, like 16th and 17th?
Stroll and Magnussen.
Oh my gosh.
They both had 10-second penalties. It was 16 and 17 because everybody else was out of the race. And they fought.
They were bumper cars.
Every corner, they changed spots. And they were bumper cars, like you said. It was.
Yeah.
We were like on the edge of our seats, which again is sad when you're 16, 17 because your leader is 13 seconds out in front after a safety car.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, the beginning of the race, I was like, okay. The two safety cars made it a little bit more exciting. Lots of bumps and groans there. But what were your thoughts? Overall thoughts?
So it's been a while since I've seen China, and I always remember it being more exciting than this. I don't know if it's just because the whole grid was closer together. Well, the whole grid is a lot closer together now, but like 1-2s. Like, you had Nico and Lewis were fighting a little bit closer than Max and Checo are. So I thought China was more exciting, but this time I was really kind of let down. I'm glad we didn't stay up for it because it's at 1 a.m. our time, so we just watched it in the morning. But there wasn't a lot of like passing. Like once, even the safety car, they got away from the safety car and then just kept driving. Like there was not a lot of passing for like real points positions.
Yeah. I definitely thought those 2 really long straights were going to give us something. I don't know. I did feel a little let
But the DRS didn't seem to work.
Yeah. And like I knew turn 6 was like where you could get around people.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I don't know. I did feel a little...
I guess you did have Hamilton. He qualified out of position. He was 18th. And he did climb all the way up to 9th. So watching Hamilton come through the field was exciting. But like that car is so out of place in 18th that it almost was like inevitable, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't as exciting as it probably... Like Brazil. When he did it in Brazil, like in 21, and he came from last to first, that was like... Because then he started beating up other people, like the Ferraris and the Red Bulls and stuff. Like now he never got close to any of the ones that actually could hold his own.
Yeah. So I think he could have gotten driver of the day.
Norris, though.
I know, but I don't know. I was... Because Russell didn't go anywhere. He was like, he qualified 7th, he finished 7th.
Yeah.
That's it. But Hamilton, I thought, had a really good... Recovery.
Yeah.
So.
And the last thing we're going to talk about, Zhao. His home race. He's the first Chinese driver in F1. So he's the first Chinese driver to ever race at a Chinese Grand Prix. Finished 14th, I believe.
Yeah.
Somebody comment down below if I'm wrong on that. I think he finished in the 14th or something like that.
Yeah.
But they had a little placard like out on the main straight where normally like first, second, third lineup. for him specifically, so he could have a moment to himself. He got out of the car. All the fans were cheering him on. He got emotional.
It was special.
Yeah, and there's pictures all over the internet of him at the Chinese Grand Prix when he was a kid with a Ferrari cap and, you know, waving an Alonso flag. So it was really cool for Zhao. I know he didn't get any points like last week or 2 weeks ago. Tsunoda got points in Japan. He does not have the car for that, but it was really cool to see the fans accept him the way they have. It was fun.
Yeah, I always love that.
No. Anything else?
No, I mean, no, I could talk about the losers of the day, but we
Alpine,
don't need to
kick.
We don't need to kick them
Red
when they're
Bull,
down.
Racing Bulls.
Yeah, lots of rough teams out there right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes in 2 weeks.
Yep. See you guys in Miami.